Good afternoon, fellow toy collectors. So today I'm going to try to help live out my nostalgic dream of finding the diecast car that I loved as a kid. And I'm hoping some of you guys might be able to help me. I've looked at the catalog of all the Matchbox cars and all the Hot Wheels cars between the 70s and the 80s. And I remember having a car of that size, of a vehicle that looked like this, like a really boxy car. It was like a light tan color or brown, and I think it may have had a dark brown roof or a black roof, and it was just a boxy looking 70s car. So I'd have to assume it's an Abarth, a Fiat 131, which is what this photograph is a Fiat 131. But I cannot find it. Does anyone know of a source of the original Tomica variations, the models that Tomica was putting out? Because maybe it was a Tomica. The reason why I love that model so much, or that toy so much, is because when me and my neighbors would race our cars down one of my neighbors' driveways, and that car was always the fastest. So, like, two of us actually ended up buying that car. Maybe my neighbor had it first, and it was the fastest, so I went and bought it myself. I recall it may have had a chromed base as well, the model. But it eludes me. I can't find it on eBay or anything like that. Anyway, speaking of which, similar cars. This is from eBay seller Puerto Rican Picker. I guess someone else took Puerto Rican Picker. 8,700 star rating, so they must be a dealer. And this is a Matchbox car. And I remember having this as a kid. Maybe this is what I thought was the fastest one. I don't know. But I distinctly remember it was like a shiny chrome base, I think. And I think it was like more this color scheme. Like a light brown or a tan color. So, anyways, I bought this because I like the Fiat 131. So we'll take a look at that. Here's the Alitalia version. So also from eBay, Giovanni's World, 1,800 star rating. It seems like a really large box for a Matchbox car. But now we know that this seller isn't messing around with the safety of the product. Although here you can see there's a lot of airspace, but it's so well protected in bubble wrap that even if it does shift around in that box, the model's going to be fine. So I've done a couple of videos on the Fiat 131 Abarth, so I'm not really going to talk about the car in real life. You can just go back and look at those other videos. I just thought it'd be interesting just to see, you know, what a Matchbox from decades ago, from when I was a kid, you know, looks like these days. And actually, there's two channels that also inspired me to buy these models or toys. The first is Twice Diecast. You can look at my subscription. And Lazilo Collectibles or Lazilo Restoration. He restores a lot of old vintage diecasts. And they had a little competition or a little friendly challenge where they repainted these models. And they both turned out pretty great. But for me, I'm going to just keep these the way they are because I distinctly remember looking at these things as a kid. I like this one the most as a kid. I just like the colorway of this Alitalia Italian airline livery. So, yeah, this is the one that really does it for me. Although, again, I'm still calling on you guys. There's a diecast, something like that, and that was the fastest one down my neighbor Steve's driveway. So anyways, this says it's 155th scale. We'll do a really lame review, I guess. 155 scale, thing has suspension, so this probably could have rolled down that driveway pretty well as well. Although no, maybe not. I mean, there's so little space here. Why would they do this? If you're gonna have a car with suspension, why would you limit the suspension by putting these rails here? It's literally forcing the car to stop. But wouldn't it just be better to let it stop against the fenders? Or maybe it would, I think it is hitting the fender, so it's just strange that they would mold that in there. What do you guys think? There must be a reason, right? I just don't know what that reason is. Okay, so what's this? The copyright of this is 1982. So that was when I was a kid, 40 years old. No, I'm not 40 years old, but 40 years plus years ago. Same base on this one, it seems. Just the optional colors. I know there's other colorways from different countries of this car, like a Bulgarian one, but I don't see any of them that are brown. And I highly doubt that in America they would have been selling a Bulgarian Matchbox at the local hobby store. So, okay, well, smooth tires, whatever, chromed wheel detail there. This little side vent there, it's pretty decently molded in. The door handle sticking out. You know, these panel gaps are pretty darn good considering this is from 1982. So, like modern vehicles, I mean, modern diecast models have panel gaps just as wide as this. I would have guessed that, well, I guess they mastered it back in the 80s or even beforehand, the proper panel width. So here, obviously, the tampo printing isn't getting into that groove so much, so that's not a little unsightly. This reminds me of like some old cigarette boxes. I don't know what kind of cigarettes it was, but maybe someone could leave a comment. I wasn't smoking cigarettes as a kid at this time, but being an adult now, this reminds me of some old Carlton cigarettes. I forget. Alright, Matchbox in quotations. And then number 45. I don't know if there's a significance to that. Matchbox again. And then you got these chromed 6 lights and the Fiat all chromed out. And interesting, there's actually a license plate molded in. I didn't catch that on the other channels as reviews. Or maybe I did. I think I just forgot. So interesting. And then what does it say there? I cannot tell. I can't tell through the camera. Does it say Abarth or Fiat? I think it's supposed to say Fiat. Yeah, F-I-A-T. Yep, there we go. Pretty decent representation of the taillights. Alright, so this is the lesser of the two for me. It's just a made-up graphic, it seems, and it's not particularly good because I feel like wouldn't this stripe carry across to the back? And then, like, why would this stripe just have a curve, a circle cut into it? It's just a strange graphic pattern. Whereas this obviously just makes sense because it's based off an actual rally car. It's trying to get the rally logo there. And so the livery of this just looks more realistic. You know, Pirelli, Magnetic Pirelli there. Same license plate, I have to imagine, right? It has to be. Yeah. Okay. And then it's a fully closed interior, it seems. It's too bad. I kind of like the models when they don't have side windows. You can see the inside more. But it's such a giant window, you can actually see the lame Matchbox type of interior there. Interesting that they molded in the defroster lines. It's actually a pretty smart idea. I don't know why like modern diecast companies don't do that. They always just print them on, and they very often print them on too thick. But these are pretty thin defroster lines, and it's just molded into the plastic itself. I think maybe someone should try that on a more modern casting. There's also a molded detail for a rear view mirror and the wiper blades, so it's not bad. Okay, well, this helps me relive my youth. You know, I was a kid when about 40 years ago. So, all right, let's put this up on a little diorama coaster I got here. So this is an acrylic disc that I bought off AliExpress, and then I just applied a bunch of hobby grade stuff, you know, hobby grass, tufts, and stuff like that to it. If you're curious about the scale, I decided to pull out the Kyoshos and the CMs. So this is a Kyosho model of the Alitalia. It's relatively correct in its scale, not only in overall length, but also in the width. And then this is a CM's version, and its width is just too wide. But the overall length isn't bad. But the CM's is nicer, I think, even though it's out of scale. I just like the details of it more. Okay, well, obviously you can see a 155 scale is significantly larger, as it should be. Makes perfect sense. And just for fun, I have a model kit. This is a 124 scale. It's by a brand called Italeri. It's not the greatest model kit, to be honest with you. I just bought it to put onto an RC drift chassis. And it also took me 10 hours to apply those decals. It was quite a laborious process. Alright, well, that is me just doing a little nostalgia there for you guys. I really like the styling of the 131 Abarth. It's just so boxy that it's ridiculous looking, and it's definitely one of my favorite cars of all time now. And it actually, the 131 Abarth was actually a successful rally racer. It won a few World Rally Championships. I couldn't leave well enough alone, so I decided to 3D print my own wheels that match up the real cars better and add some paint details. So these wheels are just called the Cromodora wheels. I don't know if that's a brand of wheels back then or what, but they're just simple, like 4-spoke multi-piece wheels. And there is air passing between those spokes, but it's just so dark you can't see. And then I added paint details. You know, the license plate is now black, and then we got the turn signals or fog lights, whatever, are there on the bottom. On the corners there is a little orange reflector there, and then black here, and then all those vents there. This thing is all black now, the door handle and that little vent in the side. And then I blacked out the license plate again, the Fiat, and then the rear lights, and then the exhaust tips. So I guess it's a little bit better than what I recall as a kid. But yeah, why not? I had the time to do it, so that's this one here. Okay, now the other wheels that exist, and you can find photos on these rally cars, are the Cromodora CD68. So that's what these things are going for. Yeah, again, there is air passing between those holes there. It's just such a deep wheel. Maybe you can see a little light there. Hopefully. I don't know. I guess it's not that important. No brake system, though. I figure you can't really see it anyways. It would have been pretty small brakes on such a old car anyhow. So yeah, this guy has all the same paint details as well. So in fact, let's just let this spin here. Okay, so yeah, I think they look a little bit better than the original, but obviously they're very modified now. But I'm okay with it. I don't intend to resell these unless someone gives me a bunch of extra ones. But I paid quite a bit for these as it is, so I'm gonna just leave them as they are and just look back upon them and think about me racing them down my neighbor's driveway, or well, the other car that I'm hopefully someone can help me out find. Alright guys, we'll see you guys around in the next review. Thanks, bye.